All right, time now for news from the left. A reminder of what you're missing by not living in California, a state where employees are mandated to assist thieves as they rob the store. A pair of thieves making off with $35,000 of Apple products in broad daylight on Black Friday, a packed store. Look at this. Video shows them running in Palo Alto, yanking phones and tablets, laptops off the display tables. The employees doing nothing except maybe moving customers out of their way so they have easier access. Can you imagine? Police say one Apple employee heard one of them threaten violence against anybody that tried to stop them. And of course, anyone who might have had a normal response to this, like to say maybe smash one of these guys over the head with something, would probably face a stiffer penalty than the thieves themselves. Welcome to California. Next up, a video going viral that's humiliating everybody who retweets it. A man named Daniel Ulfelder calls himself the Chief Ron DeSantis tormentor on his Twitter bio. He tweeted out, "Don't say Hanukkah in DeSantis' free Florida," and links to a news report underneath it about a teacher who's worried about talking about Hanukkah while working under Governor Ron DeSantis' law, which prevents teachers from talking to 5-year-olds about sex, by the way. It makes no sense whatsoever. The reporter interviewed that mom who complained about not being able to teach about the Jewish holiday because of Ron DeSantis, which again makes no sense. And if you actually watch the video that this guy tried to tweet out to hurt DeSantis, the reporter actually debunks the narrative completely. Take a look.
I reached out to the governor's office. They say the Parental Bill of Rights only prohibits classroom instruction related to sexual orientation or gender identity, and that's in grades K through 3. There are no restrictions, they say, related to religious holidays.
So the whole story gets debunked. But that didn't stop this Daniel Ulfelder guy from tweeting it out, trying to create a controversy. It was even retweeted by Joy Reid over at MSNBC. It's a completely fake story, but they don't care. Next up, Biden's Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen laughing it up with Stephen Colbert last night, explaining why inflation is so bad. Here's her spin.
Remember, everybody stopped spending on services. They were in their homes for a year or more. They wanted to buy grills and office furniture. They were working from home. They suddenly started splurging on goods. And bottlenecks started developing where supply in particular important sectors of the economy just couldn't keep up with demand.
Okay. In reality, people like her shut the entire country down and then printed out a ton of money and handed it out to everybody, no matter if you lost your job or not. So you just lined tons of people's pockets with way too much money, and they've been spending it ever since. And the people who are supposed to be able to blatantly see that this ridiculous behavior is a cause for inflation, people like herself and Jerome Powell, completely missed it. Not sure how that woman still has a job, other than she works in a very incompetent administration. Meanwhile, in Britain, people are going to extreme measures to save money because of this hyperinflation. Some Brits are heating their food with candles or on top of radiators, and reportedly are eating pet food because grocery costs are so high. People eating pet food. That's what this ridiculous response to COVID-19 has done to people all over the world. Never again will we let them shut down society because they think it'll help. They had no clue the consequences. Now we know just how bad it is when you close down society. Brits are eating dog food to save money. Fortunately, dog food isn't that much different than your average British meal, but nevertheless. Finally tonight, some perspective. A resurfaced interview caught my eye today. It has one of the best sound bites, so perfectly put and so true, I just had to share it. Take a look at this. American billionaire Charlie Munger, age 98, proving with age comes incredible wisdom. The vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway asked what drives the world. He talks about why people in first world countries are so much more miserable today than they were during much harder times.
People are less happy about the state of affairs than they were when things were way tougher. And that has a very simple explanation. The world is not driven by greed, it's driven by envy. The fact that everybody's 5 times better off than they used to be, they take it for granted. All they think about is somebody else has having more now, and it's not fair that he should have it and they don't. I can't change the fact that a lot of people are very unhappy and feel very abused after everything's improved by about 600% because there's still somebody else who has more.
Now, that's an interview from earlier this year, but I just thought that was so good and so true, I had to put it on. And it's exactly right, from somebody that was born in 1924. He's seen a lot, and he's worth listening to.